chapter 4 we are going to see gender, religion and caste. Gender is when we divide people according to male and female. Religion, in India we have 8 different religions: Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhist, Zoroastrian or what we call Parsis, and Jews, or in Hindi they call Yahudi. So there are 8 different religions. And caste. Caste is there only in Hinduism, and we divide them into basic 4, which of course further get subdivided into many more, and that is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So we are going to see these different divisions and how sometimes differences are made. Earlier we saw in our chapter racial differences, or the differences made based on Brahmins and Kshatriyas and Shudras, that is on Dalits, untouchables, etc. First we see gender and politics. Let us begin with gender division. This is a form of hierarchical social division seen everywhere, but it is rarely recognized in the study of politics. The gender division tends to be understood as natural and unchangeable. However, it is not based on biology but on social expectations and stereotype. जन्म से आप औरत है या मर्द है ये तय होता है, लेकिन जन्म से ये तय नहीं होता है कि आप में जो सामाजिक फर्क किया जाता है वो समाज करता है, वो आपको अलग बर्ताव करता है आपकी तरफ क्योंकि आप मर्द है या तो औरत है. Public and private division. Boys and girls are brought up to believe that the main responsibility of women is household work and bringing up children. This is reflected in sexual division of labor. जो काम है, बाहर का काम मर्द करेगा, घर के काम औरत करेगी, ये पहले से आपको बताया जाता है. आज आप देखते हैं ये फर्क चेंज होने लगा है, लेकिन फिर भी मन से टोटली गायब नहीं हुआ. लड़कियां भी काम करती हैं बैंकों में, स्कूलों में टीचर्स होती है, दे कैन बी वर्किंग इन एनी फील्ड, but still they feel that the domestic work or household work is to be done by women. In most families, women do all the work inside the home, such as cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, tailoring, looking after children, etc., and men do the work outside the home. It is not that men cannot do housework. They simply think that it is for women to attend to these things. When these jobs are paid for, men are ready to take them up. Most tailors or cooks in hotels are men. Similarly, it is not that women do not work outside their home. In villages, women fetch water, collect fuel, work in the fields. In urban areas, poor women work as domestic help in the middle class homes, while middle class women work in offices. In fact, the majority of women do some sort of paid work in addition to domestic labor, but their work is not valued and often it does not get recognition. तो मर्द जो सोचता है ये खाना पकाना और सिलाई करना वो तो जनाने कामें हैं, औरतों के काम है, लेकिन उसके लिए अगर उसको पैसा दिया जाता है तो वो करता है. हर होटल में आप देखेंगे कुक जो रहता है वो मर्द होता है क्योंकि उसके पैसे मिलते हैं. औरतें अगर बाहर काम कर भी ले तो भी उसका वैल्यू नहीं इतना मानते हैं या पहचानने में नहीं आता है कि वो ये काम करती है, इसीलिए घर में और भी पैसा आता है. The result of this division of labor is that although women constitute half of the humanity, their role in public life, especially politics, is minimal in most societies. Earlier, only men were allowed to participate in public affairs, vote and contest for public offices. Gradually, the gender issue was raised in politics. Women in different parts of the world organized and agitated for equal rights. There are agitations in different countries for the extension of voting rights to women. These agitations demanding enhancing the political and legal status of women and improving their educational and career opportunities. Most radical women's movements aimed at equality in personal and family life as well. These movements are known as feminist movements. Feminist movements होती क्या है? औरतों के हक के लिए जो लड़ती है. बहुत सारे कंट्रीज में आज भी औरतों को वोट करने का हक नहीं दिया जाता है. The first country to give this voting right to women was England. If you remember, in Athens also, which had direct democracy, women were not allowed to take part in the political part. Even today, Saudi Arabia, you find lot of discrimination between men and women. Women don't have many of the rights that we enjoy here in our country. Political expression of gender division and political mobilization on this question helped to improve women's role in public life. We now find women working as scientists, doctors, engineers, lawyers, managers, college and university teachers, which were earlier not considered suitable for women. In some parts of the world, for example, Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Norway and Finland, the participation of women in public life is very high. तो 3 देशों के नाम दिए गए हैं जहां पे काफ़ी हद तक इक्वालिटी है और पब्लिक लाइफ में औरतों का भी शामिल होना दिखाई पड़ता है. एंड लेट अस पुट डाउन दोज कंट्रीज, दैट इज स्वीडन, नॉर्वे and Denmark. Okay, these are known as the Scandinavian countries. So here you will find that there is to a large extent participation of women. In our country, women still lag much behind men despite some improvement since independence. Ours is still a male-dominated patriarchal society. Women face disadvantage, discrimination and oppression in various ways. तो हमारे यहाँ पुरुष प्रधान सोसाइटी है, व्हाट इज नोन एज पेट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी, यानी मर्द को ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दिया जाता है और आज भी ये फ़र्क दिखाई पड़ता है. अभी किन किन प्रकार से ये फ़र्क दिखाई पड़ता है, लेट अस सी फर्स्ट. द लिटरेसी रेट अमंग वुमेन इज 54% एंड फॉर मेन इट इज 76. सो 54 and 76%, that is for male, and 54% for female. Literacy यानी साक्षरता. आप पढ़ने लिखने के लिए स्कूल भेजते हैं तो काफ़ी औरतों को स्कूल भेजा नहीं जाता है. ये कहा जाता है कि उनको तो रोटी बनानी है, उनको क्यों स्कूल भेजे. सो इसलिए यू विल सी दैट ज़्यादा मर्द पढ़े लिखे होंगे और औरतें कम. They don't realize that once you educate a woman, the whole family gets educated. एक औरत का सुशिक्षित होना पूरी फैमिली को फ़ायदा करता है. अगर वो अपने बच्चों की पढ़ाई भी ले, not necessary she has to go out to work, but even in the kind of food that she prepares, she knows about nutrition, she knows about which vitamin is found in which vegetable or fruits, so that also helps. But very often they do not send their girls to schools or for further studies to colleges. The proportion of girl students going for higher studies you'll find is less. When we look at school results, girls perform better than boys, if not better, at least as well as. But they drop out because parents prefer to spend their resources on boys' education rather than spending on girls. Really ऐसे देखा जाए तो लड़कियां काफ़ी हद तक इक्वल या बेहतर करती है बॉयज़ से. सभी स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस में पाया जाता है. वो सिंसियर रहती है, पढ़ाई में अच्छा कर लेती है, लेकिन उनको पढ़ने को मौका नहीं दिया जाता है. Second, we can see, no wonder the proportion of women among the highly paid and highly valued jobs is small. On an average, Indian women work 1 hour more than an average man every day. Yet her work is not equal or her work is not valued. देखा जाए तो औरतें मर्द से ज़्यादा घंटे काम करती है. अगर वो 8 घंटे बाहर काम करके आता है तो उसकी ड्यूटी ख़त्म 8 घंटों के बाद में. औरत अगर बाहर भी काम करती है तो जाने से पहले बच्चों का जो भी करना है, फैमिली के लिए करना है, कुकिंग है, टिफ़िन पैक करना है, जो भी है वो पहले करती है. घर आके वापस वो काम करती है. So you'll find that in any family, generally if there are both working people, the woman always works much more. But her work is very often not valued because value is always given in terms of money. She cooks at home. But the same food, if you had to buy from outside, you would have to pay for it. She might do the laundry, she might do the ironing of the clothes, but it will not be valued. As soon as you give it outside to a dhobi, then you understand that how much the money it costs. Actually, money saved is money earned. So in a way, she does earn her living. The Equal Wages Act provides that equal wages should be paid for equal work. However, in most areas, whether it's sports, cinema, in any of the fields, you'll find women are paid less than men. जितना शाहरुख खान, आमिर खान इनको मिलता है, उतना करीना कपूर को नहीं मिलता. Why is it always? अगर वो totally women oriented story है, totally heroine पे आधारित है, फिर भी उसे उतना नहीं भरा जाता है जितना कि वो हीरो को। कोई भी काम में जो इक्वल काम होता है, हम ये नहीं कहते कि अगर औरत कम काम करती है, सपोज मर्द ने 10 घंटा काम किया तो उसे अगर 10,000 मिला और औरत ने 8 घंटा किया तो उसे 8,000 मिला, दैट इज फाइन। बट अगर दोनों इक्वल काम करते हैं तो क्यों उसे कम दिया जाता है सेम काम के लिए? तो अभी इक्वल वेजेस एक्ट आने के कारण both are given equal pay, or they should be given equal pay. In many parts of India, parents prefer to have sons and find ways to have girl child aborted before she is born. Such sex selective abortion leads to decline in child sex ratio, number of girl children per 1,000 boys. In a country of like ours, we have 933. So when we have 933 girls for every 1,000 मेल, हर 1,000 लड़के जो पैदा होते हैं उसके पीछे सिर्फ 933 लड़कियां क्यों होती है? उनका जन्म होने से पहले गर्भपात किया जाता है, अबॉर्शन, सेक्स सिलेक्टेड, दैट मीन्स दे विल डू सोनोग्राफी विच इज एक्चुअली इलीगल टू फाइंड आउट द सेक्स एंड दे विल सी टू इट दैट द गर्ल इज नॉट बॉर्न, तो उसे पैदा ही होने नहीं देते। सपोज पैदा हो भी जाती है, in some places, some states of India, they have a system called doodh piti. That means they dip the girl in milk and they drown her. तो अगर पैदा हो भी जाती है, ये सोच के कि अभी इसका दहेज जुटाना पड़ेगा, उसे दूध में डुबो के मार देते हैं। फिर भी नहीं मरी, थोड़ी बड़ी होके उसे खाना नहीं देते, उसे डॉक्टर के पास नहीं ले जाते हैं, फिर भी नहीं मरी, तो शायद दहेज के लिए उसको तंग करके जला डालते हैं। तो इन सम वे और द अदर दे सी टू इट दैट द सेक्स रेशियो इज नॉट इक्वल, बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ देम वांट सन्स। दे फील हमारे बुढ़ापे की लाठी या बुढ़ापे का सहारा, और दे फील चिता को आग जलाने के लिए हमें बेटा चाहिए, तो सभी को बेटे ही चाहिए रहते हैं। और you'll find at the end that okay, you can think in a different way. If you have 1,000 men, each one won't even get a wife. हर एक को एक अपनी बीवी भी नहीं मिलेगी अगर उतनी लड़कियां नहीं हैं। For a marriage, you need equal. Naturally, biologically, there is a tendency for any kind of child to be born, but you don't allow the girl child to be born at all. This shows that the ratio in some places has fallen below 850 or even 800. ये तो हमने एवरेज देखा। कोई कोई स्टेट्स में 800-850 सिर्फ लड़कियां हैं। राजस्थान फॉर एग्जाम्पल इज अ गुड एग्जाम्पल वेयर दे डोंट लाइक टू हैव गर्ल चिल्ड्रन। आई इवन हर्ड फ्रॉम अ पर्सन फ्रॉम देयर कि उनके गली में से 100 साल हुए बारात नहीं निकली, बिकॉज देर इज नो गर्ल एट ऑल। So you can imagine how it can be that there will be a time when the girls will be less and there will be more men. It is already happening here in India. There are reports of various kinds of harassment, exploitation, violence against women. Urban areas have become particularly unsafe for women. They are not safe even under their own home because of beating, harassment and other forms of domestic violence. औरतों को जो धोखा होता है, आप और सुनते रहते हैं, रेप केसेस और वो सब, वो अतिरिक्त घर में भी उनको सेफ नहीं लगता। पति का मारपीट वो भी उनको सहन करना पड़ता है। वुमेन्स पॉलिटिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन, पॉलिटिकली उनका जो प्रतिनिधित्व होता है, दैट इज ऑल्सो लो। नाउ यू नो दैट 1/3 सीट्स आर केप्ट फॉर देम इन लोकल सेल्फ बॉडीज। 1/3 सीट्स जो रखी है औरतों के लिए वो है लोकल बॉडीज में, यानी जिला परिषद या ग्राम पंचायत, वहां पे, नॉट इन लोकसभा। इन लोकसभा और even at the state level in the legislative assemblies, you'll find that hardly 5%, less than 10% women are there in politics. All this is well known, yet issues related to women's well-being or otherwise are not given adequate attention. This has led many feminist and women movements to the conclusion that unless women control power, their problems will not get adequate attention. One way to ensure this is to have more women as elected representatives. तो ज़्यादा जो प्रतिनिधि है वो औरतें होनी चाहिए। In India, the proportion of women in legislature is very low. For example, the percentage of elected women members in Lok Sabha has never reached 10% of its total strength. Their share in the state assemblies is less than 5%. In this respect, India is among the bottom group of nations. See the graph below. India is behind average countries like Africa, Latin America. In the government, cabinets are largely all male, even when a woman becomes the chief minister or the prime minister. एक प्राइम मिनिस्टर रह चुकी है हमारी इंदिरा गांधी जी और एक प्रेसिडेंट भी प्रतिमा पाटिल. But other than that, you'll find that mainly all our presidents and prime ministers have also been male. To date, America has still not had a woman president. Let's see now soon, they may have one. But in most of the countries you'll find, and India rates among one of the worst, even worse than Africa and South America. One way to solve this problem is to make it legally binding to have a fair proportion of women in the elected bodies. So 1/3 are there in panchayat, municipalities and all. But you'll find that they have been demanding for Lok Sabha and for state assembly, but the bill has not yet been passed. ये प्रस्ताव रखा गया है कि लोक सभा में और स्टेट लेवल पे भी उनके लिए 1/3 सीट्स रखी जाए, लेकिन अभी तक ये प्रस्ताव पास हुआ नहीं है. Of course, in local self-government, we do have 1/3, so 1/3 seats are kept for women. Now, if you see, even this 1/3 is not really fair. 1/3 seats for women, which means 2/3 for men. Really speaking, there should be 50-50. That means 50%, but we are right now at 1/3 only. Gender division is an example that some form of social division needs to be expressed in politics. This also shows that disadvantaged groups do benefit when social divisions become a political issue. Do you think that women could have made the gains we noted above if their unequal treatment was not raised in the political domain? इससे पहले जो लेसन था वो हमने देखा कि जो डिविजन्स होते हैं, वेदर धर्म के हिसाब से या लैंग्वेज के हिसाब से, क्या पॉलिटिक्स में वो आना चाहिए. तो एक दृष्टि से वो जब पॉलिटिक्स में आ जाता है तो जो हक उनको नहीं थे वो पॉलिटिकली उनको मिल सकते हैं. तो ये मुद्दा उठा के, ये पॉइंट उठा के उनको अपने हक मिल सकते हैं. नाउ वी लुक एट रिलीजन, कम्युनलिज्म एंड पॉलिटिक्स. So we saw gender and politics. Now we are going to see religion or communalism in politics. Now, let us turn to a different kind of social division, that is division based on religious differences. This division is not as universal as gender, but religious diversity is fairly widespread in the world today. Many countries, including India, have in their population followers of different religion. We noticed in North Ireland, we saw there were Catholics and there were Protestants. Unlike gender difference, religious difference often is expressed in the field of politics. मर्द और औरत, ये जो डिवीजन है दुनिया भर में है, लेकिन रिलीजन के नाम से जो डिवीजन किया जाता है सभी कंट्रीज में शायद नहीं हो. इंडिया में ऑफ कोर्स बहुत अलग अलग रिलीजन साथ में रहते हैं, इसीलिए ये प्रॉब्लम या ये मुद्दा पॉलिटिक्स में उठाया जाता है. गांधी जी यूज्ड टू से दैट रिलीजन कैन नेवर बी सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम पॉलिटिक्स. तो गांधी जी का मानना था कि रिलीजन और पॉलिटिक्स इसको सेपरेट कर ही नहीं सकते. What he meant by religion was not any particular religion like Hinduism or Islam, but moral values that inform all religions. He believed that politics must be guided by ethics drawn from religion. वो जब religion कहते थे, धर्म, धर्म का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप हिंदू है या क्रिश्चियन है या मुस्लिम है. धर्म यानी आपका धर्म क्या होता है, आपकी ड्यूटी क्या होती है, क्या नैतिक दृष्टि से आपका धर्म होता है. तो उनका धर्म या धर्म जब वो यूज करते थे वो वर्ड, उसकी परिभाषा अलग रहती थी. Human rights groups in our country have argued that most of the victims of communal riots in our country are people from religious minorities. They have demanded that the government take special steps to protect religious minorities. जब भी राइट्स होते हैं तो मोस्टली माइनॉरिटीज़ की ये मांगे रहती है क्योंकि उन पर जुल्म होता है या उनसे उनके ऊपर ये फ़र्क जो करते हैं, सामाजिक फ़र्क होता है, उनको महसूस होता है. Women's movements has argued that family laws of all religions discriminate against women. So they have demanded that government should change these laws and make them more equitable. All these instances involve a relation between religion and politics, but they do not seem very wrong or dangerous. Ideas, ideals, and values drawn from different religions can and perhaps should play a role in politics. People should be able to express in politics their needs, interests, and demands as a member of religious community. Those who hold political power should sometimes be able to regulate the practice of religion so as to prevent discrimination and oppression. These political acts are not wrong as long as they treat every religion equally. हर धर्म को equal मानना चाहिए. That means our constitution, when we say it's a secular constitution, every religion is considered equal. There is no state religion as such. Of course, naturally the majority, very often you will not find them making demands because they are in a majority. You will find the minorities mostly make these demands. Now what exactly is communalism? Communalism यानी जब धर्म पे आधारित होता है. Opposite to this is secularism. So I have put down the points already. Let us look at the board and you can copy it down if you want so that you get a gist of what exactly is communalism. Communalism, you will find that there is religious prejudice or stereotypes. Prejudice यानी पसंद करना, नापसंद करना, ऐसे ही क्योंकि वो धर्म के हैं, हमारे धर्म के नहीं हैं. या स्टीरियोटाइप, एक छाप जो लगाते कि वो धर्म के लोग ऐसे होते हैं, वैसे होते हैं, तो ये गलत बात है. कम्युनलिज्म में यू विल फाइंड रिलीजियस प्रेजुडिस एंड स्टीरियोटाइप्स. सेकंड पॉइंट दैट यू फाइंड इज दैट इट इज अ क्वेस्ट फॉर पॉलिटिकल डोमिनेंस. क्वेस्ट यानी सर्च. उनको एक डोमिनेट यानी उनको एक वर्चस्व चाहिए रहता है जो दूसरे के ऊपर वो दबाव ला सके. थर्ड, political mobilization using religious symbols or leaders. आपके धर्म गुरु जो है या religious symbols है जैसे त्रिशूल है या स्वस्तिक है या ऐसे symbols use करके लोगों को अपने साथ करना या अपनी strength बढ़ाना. And communal violence, riots and massacre. Violence, that means खून खराबा, riots यानी दंगे फसाद होते हैं और massacre यानी mass killing. So communalism you can see has all these points. As opposed to this, यानी हमारी country communal riots नहीं चाहती, communities में फर्क हो हिंदू मुस्लिम के हिसाब से वो नहीं चाहती है. तो our constitution has declared India to be a secular state. अभी इसके मुकाबले secular state कैसे होता है जैसे कि India. Now in a secular state there is no official state religion. कोई भी धर्म ऑफिशियली हम डिक्लेयर नहीं करते कि ये हमारा स्टेट रिलीजन है. जैसे पाकिस्तान में, सऊदी अरेबिया में, कुवैत में, ये कंट्रीज में टोटली ओनली इस्लाम धर्म चलता है. यहाँ पे सभी धर्म इक्वल है, कोई भी धर्म ऑफिशियल स्टेट रिलीजन नहीं माना जाता है. सेकेंड, फ्रीडम टू प्रोफेस, प्रैक्टिस एंड प्रोपगेट एनी रिलीजन और नॉन एट ऑल. तो आप कोई भी धर्म आप फॉलो कर सकते हैं, आपको उसका प्रचार करना है. प्रोपगेट मीन्स यू वांट टू स्प्रेड द रिलीजन, यू कैन डू दैट. और नन एट ऑल, दैट मीन्स आपको कोई भी धर्म में मानना नहीं है, जैसे मानवता धर्म है. सो यू कैन फॉलो दैट वे. और इफ यू फील आई डोंट वांट टू फॉलो एनी पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अलाउड. नाउ इफ यू रिमेंबर शिवाजी सन संभाजी and his friend Kavi Rao, they both were forced to become Muslims, otherwise they were killed for not becoming Muslims. So that is not there in our country. When we say Sampradayikta, Sarva Dharma Samabhavana, that means all religions are equal, no state religion or official religion. Next we have the constitution prohibits discrimination on grounds of religion. यानी धर्म के नाम पे फर्क करे ये नहीं होता. We have had Muslim president like Abdul Kalam, Zakir Hussain. So we don't make a difference based on religion. They have equal rights politically, socially. And finally you find intervention in matters of religion to ensure equality. Normally government जो धार्मिक चीजें हैं उसमें बीच में नहीं पड़ती, लेकिन अगर equality लाने के लिए उनको पढ़ना भी पड़े तो वो करती है. For example, I'll write one example over here, like banning of untouchability. और सती। जो अगर कोई धर्म में आप एनिमल सैक्रिफाइस करते हैं, ह्यूमन सैक्रिफाइस करते हैं, यानी बलि चढ़ाते हैं, उसको वो रोक सकते हैं। नॉर्मली धार्मिक मामलों में गवर्नमेंट नहीं पढ़ती because we are a secular state, but अगर पढ़ना पड़े तो they might intervene. So if you want, can you please take down the points? This is for communalism, and opposed to that is secularism. So this will be literally like a distinguish between, okay, both are different, totally opposite of each other. So what we strive for, what we try to achieve is secularism and not communism. Okay, just caste and politics. So first we saw gender and politics, that means male female differences. Then we saw communalism and secularism. I have put down the points for you already. And now we see caste in politics. Unlike gender and religion, caste division is special to India. That means it is not there in any other country. In Northern Ireland, we saw that there are different communities, that means the Catholics, Roman Catholics and the Protestants. But in India, there are many different communities based on religion. Now in the Hindu community, you have 4 basic castes which are again subdivided. Of course, sociologist Gurrier has said there are more than 3,000 divisions, but we still see the basic 4 caste divisions. All societies have some kind of social inequality and some form of division of labor. In most societies, occupations are passed on from one generation to another. Caste system is an extreme form of this. What makes it different from other societies is that this system, countered in everyday life, you'll find that they have hereditary, that means first of all it comes from father and son. Then you have occupationally, you have no mobility because whatever your father did, that you have to do. And that was sanctioned by the rituals. Members of the same caste group were supposed to form a social community that practiced the same or similar occupation, married within the caste group and did not eat with members from other caste groups. Caste या जात पात का ये जो भेदभाव होता है, ये सिर्फ इंडिया में होता है, कोई भी दूसरे कंट्री में नहीं होता है, and only in Hinduism. When we have caste, that means you are born in that caste, you have to follow the same profession. जो भी आपकी जात रहती थी, उस हिसाब से जो आपका प्रोफेशन या आप क्या काम करेंगे वो भी तय होता था. आप शादी जो करेंगे अपनी ही जात में करेंगे, दूसरों के साथ संबंध नहीं रखेंगे, खाना पीना, उनके घर आना जाना. So that difference which was there, that was a terrible difference, which is a man-made difference. Caste system was based on exclusion of and discrimination against the outcast group. Outcast यानी परजात, यानी इन ग्रुप एंड आउट ग्रुप, यानी आप कहेंगे नहीं वो जात के हैं, which is actually wrong, because this is a man-made division, it is not a God-made division. They were subjected to the inhuman practice of untouchability, which you have already studied in class 9. That is why political leaders tried to do something about it. Now, who were the political leaders that fought against untouchability? अस्पृश्यता या छुआछूत की जो ये बीमारी है, किन लोगों ने उसके खिलाफ आवाज उठाई? One was Gandhi ji. He used to call them Harijan. Harijan means people of God, because everyone is made by God. The other person was B.R. Ambedkar, who himself belonged to the lower caste, and that's why he knows what the discrimination made against him was. Other than that, you have Mahatma Phule, and we also have Periyar Ramaswamy. His full name is Periyar Ramaswamy Naicker. He advocated and worked to establish a society in which caste inequalities were absent. तो ये छुआछूत की बीमारी भी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि ये अछूत है, सभी को आप छू सकते हैं. अगर कोई छूता नहीं है क्योंकि आप गंदे हैं, क्योंकि आपको बीमारी है, that is different, because you might get the disease from some person. that even in class we tell the children that if you have smallpox, chicken pox, and now smallpox of course is eradicated, but don't come to school, others will also get it, don't sit near that person, or suppose somebody has lice in the hair, then the other person, but that is not what is untouchability. Untouchability is where people move away from you, they don't even allow your shadow to fall on you, they don't touch you, they don't socialize with you, simply because you're born in a particular caste. Partly due to their efforts and partly due to other socio-economic changes, caste and caste system in modern India have undergone great changes. With economic development, large-scale urbanization, growth of literacy, education, occupational mobility and the weakening of the position of landlords in the village, the old notions of caste hierarchy are breaking down. ये जो अलग-अलग caste एकदम strictly माना जाता था, ये अभी कम क्यों होने लगे? First, because of urbanization, शहरीकरण. शहर में जब लोग आए काम करने के लिए तो एक साथ काम करते हैं, एक फैक्ट्री में साथ में बैठ के खाते हैं, कैंटीन में, बसेस में साथ में वो ट्रैवल करते हैं, ट्रेन्स में, तो आप ये नहीं बोलते कि आपका कौन सा कास्ट है और उस हिसाब से आपको सीट दिखी आप बैठे. सो अनटचेबिलिटी एंड ऑल दिस बिकेम अ लिटिल लेस इन द सिटीज. गांव में अभी भी काफ़ी हद तक वो पाया जाता है. सेकेंड रीज़न वाई कास्ट सिस्टम रिड्यूस्ड, बिकॉज ऑक्यूपेशनल मोबिलिटी, यानी आपका जो प्रोफेशन है, पहले कैसे था कि आपके पिता अगर कुछ करते हैं आपको भी वही करना है. अभी आप चूज कर सकते हैं, आपको अगर कुछ अलग फील्ड में जाना है तो वो आप जा सकते हैं. Now most of the time in urban areas, it does not matter much who is walking along with us in the street, who is eating at the next table in the restaurant. The Constitution of India prohibited any caste-based discrimination and laid the foundation of politics to reverse the injustices of caste system. If a person who lived a century ago were to return to India, she would be greatly surprised at the change that has come about in the country. 100 साल पहले जो जीते थे इंडिया में, अगर आज वो देखे कि अभी कोई भी किसी के साथ भी शादी करता है क्योंकि वो यही समझते कि वो भी मानव है, they would be very surprised. Because today the caste system has weakened, it has become less. I will not say it has gone away totally, unfortunately it still exists. Yet caste has not disappeared from contemporary India. Some of the older aspects of caste have persisted. Even now, most people marry within their own caste or tribe. Untouchability has not ended completely, despite constitutional prohibition. Effects of centuries of advantages and disadvantage continue to be felt today. Caste groups that had access to education under old system have done well in acquiring modern education. Those groups that did not have access to education or were prohibited from acquiring it have naturally lagged behind. That is why there is a disproportionately large presence of upper caste among the urban middle class, and caste continues to be closely linked to economic status. Economically जो गरीब और अमीर है, ये कैसे कास्ट से जुड़ता है? पारंपरिक रूप से ब्राह्मण और क्षत्रिय, इनको पढ़ाई दी जाती थी या उनसे करवाई जाती थी, लेकिन जो लो कास्ट के हैं उनको स्कूल नहीं भेजा जाता था, उनको अलाउ नहीं करते थे, तो वो लो के लो ही रह जाते थे. Today also you find the disadvantaged group for them to come up. Of course, reservation of seats have been kept in the Constitution of India for those people who are of other backward classes or scheduled tribes, scheduled caste. But even then, for them to come up, it will take a little while, because for centuries they have been discriminated against. The advantages had by the upper caste continued to be seen even today. Caste in politics. As in the case of communalism, casteism is rooted in the belief that caste is the sole basis of social community. According to this way of thinking, people belonging to the same caste belong to a natural social community and have the same interests which they do not share with any other community or caste. Like you saw in communalism also, caste is one aspect. अभी ये मानना कि एक कास्ट के जो लोग हैं वो सभी सेम टाइप के हैं या सभी को सेम चीज़ें चाहिए, यानी पॉलिटिकली जब आप प्रॉमिस करते हैं हम आपके लिए ये करेंगे वो करेंगे, तो नॉट नेसेसरी क्योंकि वो एक जात के हैं या एक धर्म के हैं उनको सेम चीज़ें चाहिए रहती है. When parties choose candidates in election, they keep in mind the caste composition of the electorate. Electorate means the people who are voting. कितने लोग जो वोट करने वाले हैं कौन से जात के हैं, काफ़ी हद तक पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज उनके कैंडिडेट को खड़ा करती है ये जान के कि हमारे पास इतना वोट बैंक है, हमें इतने वोटें मिलेगी. When governments are formed, political parties usually take care that representatives of different castes and tribes find a place, so that उनका प्रतिनिधित्व भी होता है और प्लस उनको इंटरेस्ट ज़्यादा जीतने में शायद होगा, लेकिन उनका प्रतिनिधित्व भी ज़रूर होता है. Political parties and candidates in elections make appeal to caste sentiment to muster support. Some political parties are known to favor some castes and are seen as their representatives. For example, when you have RPI, RPI works for the Dalit or those who are scheduled caste. So naturally they have a candidate who will represent them and they know that they will get votes from the scheduled caste. Universal adult franchise and the principle of one person, one vote compelled political leaders to gear up to the task of mobilizing and securing political support. It also brought new consciousness among the people of castes that were hitherto treated as inferior and low. You may have not heard of this word, hitherto. Which means up till now. That means अब तक जो लो कास्ट या इंफीरियर माने जाते थे, तो अभी यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज यानी जो भी एडल्ट है 18 के उम्र से ऊपर वो वोट कर सकते हैं. तो अभी उनके हाथ में भी एक पावर आ गया. पहले उनको वोटिंग राइट्स नहीं थे, पढ़ने का राइट नहीं था या हक नहीं था, तो वो भी उनको अभी मिलने लगे. The focus on caste in politics can sometimes give an impression that elections are all about caste and nothing else. Very often you feel that this caste, community, religion, all this is being brought into politics, which is not a good thing. Yes, it is not good when it goes to an extreme and creates riots. But when they don't get their representation, this is one method of giving them representation politically. No parliamentary constituency in the country has a clear majority of one single caste. So, every candidate and party needs to win the confidence of more than one caste. कोई भी एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऐसे नहीं है जहाँ पे एक ही जात के लोग रहते हो, तो नेचुरली लीडर को सिर्फ अपने जात पे डिपेंड करना आसान नहीं है. He has to have the confidence of the people. Second, no party wins the vote of all the voters. यानी एक अगर आप पार्टी है, भले ही आप हिंदुत्व के लिए कुछ करते हैं या दलितों के लिए कुछ करते हैं, गारंटी नहीं रहती कि सभी वोट्स उस कम्युनिटी के आपको मिलेंगे. Many political parties may put up candidates from the same caste. अगर आपने ये सोच के किया कि ये एरिया में ज़्यादा ये जात के लोग हैं, तो उसको खड़ा करते हैं हमारी पार्टी की तरफ से, तो दूसरी पार्टी भी वही करती है. So again the votes will get divided. The ruling party and the sitting MP or MLA, that is the member of parliament or member of legislative assembly, frequently lose elections in their country. That could not have happened if all castes and communities were frozen in their political preference. Frozen का मतलब है एक ही उनका जो preference है कि हमारी जात के लिए हम इसको वोट करेंगे. ये अगर फिक्स्ड होता तो हर 5 साल जब इलेक्शंस होती है तो टाइम टू टाइम आपका लीडर चेंज नहीं होता, आपका एमपी चेंज नहीं होता. सो इट इज़ नॉट फिक्स्ड. अपनी जात का सोच के जिन्होंने वोट किया शायद नेक्स्ट टाइम ना करे, ये सोच के कि हमने किया तो था लेकिन हमारे लिए उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया. Clearly, while caste matters in political matters, so do many other factors. The voters have strong attachment to political parties, which is often stronger than their attachment to their caste or community. People within the same caste or community have different interests depending on their economic condition. तो उन्होंने क्या कहा है कि सेम कास्ट के लोग कैसे अलग अलग कैंडिडेट को वोट दे सकते हैं? क्यों? उनकी मांगे अलग होगी. For example, here rich and poor, men and women, they might have different needs or they might vote differently. People's assessment of the performance. Assessment means evaluation. Evaluation यानी मूल्यांकन. तो लोग मूल्यांकन करेंगे, आपको हमने जिता के लाए और फिर आपने क्या किया हमारे लिए, तो शायद वो नेक्स्ट टाइम नहीं वोट करेंगे. Politics in caste. We have so far looked at what caste does to politics, but it does not mean that there is only one-way relation. Politics too influences the caste system and the caste identities by bringing them into the political arena. Thus, it is not politics that gets caste-ridden, it is caste that gets politicized. तो caste में politics हो जाता है और politics में भी caste. Now here, each caste group tries to become bigger. हर जात का या हर कम्युनिटी का जो ग्रुप रहता है वो चाहते कि वो मेजॉरिटी बन जाए या उनके हाथ में हक आ जाए. Various caste groups are required to enter into a coalition with other caste or communities and they enter into a negotiation or dialogue. अगर एक कास्ट का मेजॉरिटी नहीं बनता तो कोalition गवर्नमेंट यानी 2-3 जो पार्टीज है वो साथ में आके coalition government form करती है. New kinds of caste groups have come up in the political arena like backward and forward caste groups. नए नए जात भी हम सुनते हैं जो पहले सुनाई भी नहीं पड़ते थे ताकि उनको भी अपने हक मिलने लगे. Thus caste plays different kinds of roles in politics. In some situations, expression of caste differences in politics gives many disadvantaged communities the space to demand their share of power. In this sense, caste politics has helped people from Dalits and OBC. OBC means other backward classes. That means it might be not only based on caste, it can be class. Class in the sense the people who are poor or disadvantaged to get better access to decision making. Several political and non-political organizations have been demanding and agitating for an end to discrimination against particular castes, for more dignity, more access to land, resources and opportunities. Reservation of seats, for example, is one method to be able to bring up these disadvantaged castes and other backward class. At the same time, exclusive attention to caste can produce negative results as well. As in the case of religion, politics based on caste identity alone is not healthy. It can divert attention from other pressing issues like poverty, development, corruption, and in this you're concentrating on caste, communities and all instead of the more important problems. कास्ट पॉलिटिक्स में जब आ जाता है तो उन्हें प्रतिनिधित्व मिलता है, उन्हें अपने हक मिलते हैं, ये हुई अच्छी बात. नेगेटिव पॉइंट जो है, आप टोटली कास्ट, कम्युनिटी, धर्म इसके ऊपर ध्यान देके जो रियल प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जैसे कि गरीबी, पॉवर्टी, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, बेरोजगारी, करप्शन यानी भ्रष्टाचारी, इस पर ध्यान न देके आप ज़्यादा ध्यान देते हैं कास्ट या रिलीजन पे. So that can be a negative effect और riots या दंगे फसाद उसके कारण होने की संभावना भी होती है. So here we saw in politics not only did we see gender, that means male and female, how women have fought for their rights, religion, how minority communities fight for their rights and they try to become more powerful in political way, and also caste. So all these three we saw how they are connected with politics. Now if we go on to the question and answers which are there in your lesson. First question, mention different aspects of life in which women are discriminated or disadvantaged in India. Now if you see the different things in which they are disadvantaged, first we can see household work. How women have to do more household work as compared to men. Other than that, literacy. We already saw that 76% men are literate while only 54% women have been given education. Then, role in public life or no equal wages or sex discriminated abortion. So many different ways. Violence, domestic violence. It's unsafe for women. In all different ways you see that women are discriminated against. Food, upbringing, clothing. Sometimes they will buy things for the boy but they won't give it to the girl. Mention different aspects of life in which women are discriminated, so that we saw. Second, state different forms of communal politics with one example each. Okay, so now let us look at the second question. In question number 2, forms of communal politics with example. So here you can see the first point, organization of political parties on communal basis. That means the political party is based on certain religions or communities. Second, the selection of candidate who will stand for election. That is also decided according to who are the majority community. That means they know they are going to get a vote bank. Voting on communal lines. People also vote for a person they think that okay, he belongs to our religion or our community, and that's why they vote on communal lines. And finally, the formation of ministry. They try to form the ministry also based on community. So you can take down the points for question number 2 and then you can expand on each point. But these are the main points. Question number 3, state how caste inequalities are still continuing in India. You can see that even today, even though it has been removed according to the constitution, socially it still continues. To give you an example of something totally different, for example, dowry, Dahej, that is removed by constitution, but socially it still goes on. Similarly, making discrimination, making differences, जात पात में फर्क करना, वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के मुताबिक अलाउड नहीं है, लेकिन समाज में आप देखते हैं कि आज भी होता है. जब आप शादी करते हैं तभी शायद आप अपनी जात का कोई ढूंढते हैं, या जब आपको कुछ अपने साथ में खाना है पीना है उनके साथ नहीं बैठ के खाते पीते हैं. So that becomes very difficult to monitor. Especially in the villages, you will still find a lot of caste discrimination. State 2 reasons to say that caste alone cannot determine election results in India. The first reason is there is no clear majority. We cannot say that because of this caste, this candidate is going to win. We also saw that both the political parties might have a candidate from the same caste. Second reason was, one particular party does not win all the votes from that particular community or caste. Fifth question, what is the status of women's representation in Indian legislative bodies? We saw that it is less than 10%. Sometimes it is not even 5%. Mention any 2 constitutional provisions that make India a secular state. Now, secularism, we had seen all the different points. One of the main points why we are a secular state, it is embodied in the preamble of our constitution. And any religion can be adopted or followed or professed by whatever they want to follow. Now the 7th one, 8th, 9th, 10th, all these are multiple choice questions. So I will write down the answers on the board. Now let us look at the seventh question. What is the multiple choice? When we speak of gender divisions, we usually refer to, is it biological difference between men and women, unequal roles assigned by society to men and women, unequal sex ratio of the child, or absence of voting rights for women? So here, when we talk about gender divisions, we talk about unequal roles assigned by society to men and women. So the option will be B for the 7th question. Okay, now we go on to the 8th question. This is also a multiple choice question. In India, seats are reserved for women in Lok Sabha? No. In state legislative assemblies? No. In cabinet? No. So D is the right answer, in Panchayati Raj bodies. So 8th answer will be D. 1/3 seats are kept for women in Panchayati Raj system. That means in Zilla Parishad, Panchayat Samiti and Gram Panchayat. Now going on to the 9th one. Consider the following statements on the meaning of communal politics. Communal politics is based on the belief that one religion is superior to that of others. People belonging to different religions can live together happily as equal citizens. C. Followers of a particular religion constitute one community. And D. State power cannot be used to establish the domination of one religious group over others. Which of the statements is correct? So here in the ninth one, you find the option C is correct. Now in option C, two answers are both correct. That means A and C. So let us look at which are the correct ones. A. One religion is superior to others. That is the belief in communal politics. And C. Followers of a particular religion constitute one community. Okay, going on to the 10th one now. Which among the following statements about India's constitution is wrong? Now be careful. Ninth, you had to see out of this multiple choice which is the correct option. And now 10th one, you have to see which is the wrong one. That means others will be correct. So which is wrong? It prohibits discrimination on grounds of religion. It gives official status to one religion, or provides all individuals freedom to profess any religion, or ensures equality of citizens within religious communities. So for the 10th one, your option will be B, because A, C and D are all correct and this one is the wrong one. So this one does not fit. 11th, we have fill in the blanks. Social division based on caste are peculiar to India. This you can fill in your book itself. Even the multiple choice you can mark in your book itself. So social divisions based on caste are only there in India. Now if you have to match the columns, on the first side you have 4. And we have to match it with the second side. That is, we have got A, B, C, D. Let us see the first one. The person who believes in equal rights and opportunities for women and men. So this person is known as a feminist. So the first one matches with B. The second one, a person who says that religion is the principal basis of community, that matches with communalist. That is A. Now let us look at the third one. A person who thinks that caste is the principal basis of community is known as a casteist person. So this matches with D. And we have the last one, fourth one, a person who does not discriminate others on the basis of religious beliefs. That person is a secularist. That is C. So I hope you are a secularist and not a casteist or a communalist person. So we come to the end of the lesson. These lessons, even though we teach them, we hope that you have incorporated the ideas that we put in your mind through these lessons, and you have true gender equality. You do not think of different people as low or high based on their caste or their community.